Coming up on Beach TV News, Dodger Mania takes over Los Angeles. The City of Angels celebrates the Dodgers' 8th World Series win. Plus, who will be our next president? Election day is upon us, just 24 hours before Americans cast their ballots in this historic presidential race. And, tired of struggling to power up your Tesla? Charge up in luxury at the newest electric vehicle service station. All that and more next. Beach TV News starts now.
Welcome to this edition of Beach TV News. I'm Tanisha Bugad.
And I'm Jerry Reynoso. Beach TV News is brought to you by broadcast journalism students at Cal State Long Beach. It was a Hollywood ending for the LA Dodgers as they clinched their 8th World Series title. After a nightmarish 5th inning from the Yankees, the Dodgers came back after being down 5-0 and were able to gain the lead in the final inning. Then, the storybook ending happened. After missing the previous 2 seasons due to injuries, Walker Buehler gets the final strikeout, securing the world title. A year filled with doubts and dismay, but the boys in blue pulled it off, winning banner number 8 in honor of the late Fernando Valenzuela and in Shohei Ohtani's first Dodgers season. What a great day to be an Angelino.
I wholeheartedly agree, Jerry. It's a great day to be in LA. Dodgers fans have taken over downtown LA, celebrating not 1, but 2 World Series wins. This is the 8th World Championship for the Dodgers, but this one is extra special for the City of Angels, who hasn't seen a parade since 1988. Now the streets of LA were alive with Dodger Blue. What a homecoming for the players! The LAPD estimates around 250,000 people lined the streets for the much-anticipated victory parade. And get this, it was held on Fernando Valenzuela's birthday, the beloved legendary Dodger player who died just before the start of the World Series.
I mean, you can't make that stuff up. Talk about a fairy tale ending. Well, even though the Dodgers won the World Series back in 2020, the celebration was cut short due to COVID-19 precautions. So this year's celebration is the first in 36 years since the Dodgers claimed the title in 1988. After the parade, the party continued at Dodger Stadium where the boys in blue celebrated alongside 42,000 fans in attendance. Shohei Ohtani gave a rare speech appearance expressing his gratitude to the loyal fans and the city of Los Angeles. But all eyes were on Freddie Freeman, who was rightfully recognized as MVP, marking the culmination of this historic day for the boys in blue and the city of LA.
I've actually gone to the World Series. I was at the Houston one, game 6-7, and I went to the last championship when we won it in Texas against the Rays. I was there for the final game. And I had tickets for tonight, but we're here instead. It's okay because it's a party. We're still celebrating.
I was actually at the parade, and I can definitely tell you that the energy around the streets was electric. Now, moving on to politics. We're in the final stretch of this year's election, and both presidential candidates are making their final push for votes. Adding to recent celebrity-filled rallies, Vice President Kamala Harris held her final rally at the Ellipse just outside the White House, highlighting her policies and vowing to be a president for both liberals and conservatives alike. Harris strategically chose to give her final speech at the Ellipse, the site where former President Donald Trump rallied his supporters on January 6, 2021. Following those remarks, there was a violent riot at the Capitol.
Meanwhile, President Trump is still reeling from a rally gone wrong earlier this week at Madison Square Garden.
You know, there's a lot going on. Like, I don't know if you guys know this, but there's literally a floating island of garbage in the middle of the ocean right now. Yeah. I think it's called Puerto Rico.
Those were the words heard around the world and that put former President Donald Trump in hot water. Comedian Tony Hinchcliffe, known as Kill Tony, who opened for Trump, didn't hold back on controversial jokes. Not only did he target Puerto Rico, but he also fired jokes aimed at Jews, black people, and women. No one and nothing was off limits. While some GOP politicians, including Senator Rick Scott of Florida, slammed the comments as racist and not funny. The Trump campaign insisted they were not aware the jokes would be made. With the election just around the corner, these jokes could pack a serious punch at the polls.
Well, the presidential election is just one day away, but some young voters are choosing not to vote. Why are they sitting this one out? Beach TV News reporter Emily Urias is live with those details.
The U.S. presidential elections are less than one day away. The candidates are current Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump. However, both candidates have received criticism from young voters with issues such as the economy, abortion rights, and Israel-Hamas war. Some feel that they're better off to simply not vote. I went around asking Cal State Long Beach students if they're going to participate in this election.
I'm not, no. Not voting? I feel like I would only vote for a candidate that I dislike less, more than I would vote for someone I do like, so I just chose not to.
I am not voting this year. That if I were to vote, I would be voting for a third party. And I don't think it would make that much of a difference.
California State Long Beach student Maximilian Sierra believes that young voters are focused on making ends meet, leading them to feel a disconnect when it comes to voting.
They just see it as like, oh, my vote doesn't matter. Or like, they see it as like, oh, it's not really my problem what's going on. Like, so they're just focused on surviving, doing their own thing, trying to be successful.
While some students believe that their vote doesn't make an impact, for students like Javen, there's a lot at stake for this presidential election.
Mexican American, like my parents are from El Salvador, from Mexico, and they immigrated here, so I'm a Frisian. Border hoppers should not be here. It's like very like controlling over me, because those are my parents. I love them.
Are you looking for a place to cast in your vote? All roads lead to the pyramid. I'm here in front of the Walter Pyramid, where students will be able to cast in their votes starting October 30th. And it ends on November 5th, which is the last day of Election Day.
Thank you, Emily. Remember, you can't complain if you didn't vote, so you have until tomorrow to get your vote in. Well, it's not officially Election Day, and polling places are already reporting issues. In Nevada County, California, a printing error has compromised mail-in ballots. County officials discovered an ink overspray affecting barcodes, preventing some ballots from being scanned correctly. The county is working nonstop to identify and rescan the affected ballots to ensure accuracy and assure voters that the error won't impact the final vote count, although it may delay results. The county remains committed to certifying election results by the December 3rd deadline.
Now here's what's at stake for the Golden State. With 10 new state propositions, California voters could decide on these changes, from healthcare reform to rent control measures and even raising the minimum wage. Our reporter Carla Valdez brings us more on what these proposals could mean for our state.
As residents rush to turn in their ballots for this year's presidential election, important information about the 10 state propositions is important to take note of.
From school funding, climate change, marriage equality, housing, minimum wage, rent control, crime, and healthcare, casting a vote on these issues could define the future of our state. Propositions 32, 33, and 36, for example, affect Los Angeles County's quality of life, crime rates, and economic stability. Proposition 32 is set to raise the minimum wage by $18 an hour by 2025, estimating to help more than 2 million workers get a raise, like Joel Vasquez.
So in my opinion, I think I should vote for Prop 32 because I worked for $16 an hour in like the Downey area, and if it was raised to 18, that would be way better.
Lately, there has been many construction sites in Long Beach, like the one behind me. This means there will be more living spaces for residents in the area. Is that a good thing? Possibly, but that can also mean more rent increases in the years to come.
Prop 33 restricts rent control in California. The repeal would give counties and cities the authority to enact more rent control laws. Passing legislation could provide residents with additional rent protections, but this would also alter the Costa-Hawkins law and let any city to impose any kind of rent control.
I feel like it's been too many years and there hasn't been a change.
Prop 36, the smash and grab issue, seeks to increase penalties for theft crimes. Supporters argue that Prop 36 will make communities safer. Opponents, though, believe it would reignite harsh drug policies and shift resources away from treatment efforts.
I do see that am in favor of that. I do believe it will help curtail some of the instances we do see where that happens. What we want to do is try to discourage these individuals from continuing to target the businesses.
Reporting from Long Beach, Carla Valdez, Beach TV News.
It's time for a quick break, but when we return, North Korea sends troops to Russia. What could this mean for U.S. involvement? Plus, Dodger fever in Japan. Why thousands of overseas fans are flocking to the World Series. We'll explain up next.
Every day, thousands of kids start vaping. And I can't let this happen to my kid. Of course, it's awkward to talk to your kids about the dangers of vaping. Hey, bestie, how sketch is me? It's hard to get their attention. Ready? Go. Yes, look at that. You even turn yours over. So if you want to talk to your kids about the dangers of vaping, you have to get it trending. Right, Backpack Kid?
Let's do it.
First, invite your kid to do the vape talk. Let's try this. All right.
Why is he here?
Yeah, I gotta get it trending, honey.
Come on.
Let's go.
Oh, honey, can we talk?
Yeah, what's up?
I see a lot of your friends vaping.
Visit talkaboutvaping.org for tips on when and how to.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. Remember the best planned 90 minutes of your life? Or that surprise party for your parents' golden anniversary? You get the golden planning. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
If you're buzzed and doing this, to make yourself feel okay to drive,
ZWX.
You're not okay to drive.
YGKLVW. Regular you.
Welcome back. Russia is raising major concern this week as they received a friendly visit from fellow comrades in North Korea. Here with those details and more is BTVN's Ivan Ruiz.
Thank you, Tanisha. Is North Korea lending its soldiers to Russia? Well, this appears to be the case. We investigate why and what this means for the rest of the world. Plus, Moldova cast their vote to join the European Union, and the U.S.-Mexico border receive a new wave of migrant refugees seeking to escape their living conditions. Here's what's happening around the world.
North Korean soldiers are transported to a military base in Russia. South Korea's national intelligence reported that at least 1,500 North Korean soldiers have been shipped out to a clandestine location in Russia in order to receive military training. This comes to no surprise as last June both Russian President Vladimir Putin and North Korean leader Kim Jong-un signed a treaty that promises mutual aid to either of their countries should one of them face any threats. This power alliance is seemingly confirmed just days after Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin met with Ukraine President Volodymyr Zelensky to discuss the future of U.S. aid to Ukraine amid the presidential election. As election season ramps up here at home, citizens in Moldova vote yes to the European Union referendum. The vote narrowly passed by the slimmest of margins, with 50.39% of citizens in favor of joining the European Union. However, this vote raises questions about the extent of support for European Union policies, given that Moldova has had long-standing ties to Russia, stemming back to the Soviet Union era. With their very own presidential election set to take place on November 3rd, it will be interesting to see how this vote will influence Moldova's choice for leadership. Thousands of migrants make their way up north from the southern border of Mexico, presumably to the United States. Local news reports that the crowd consists of over 2,000 people, all ranging from different parts of Latin America, including Venezuela, Honduras, Guatemala, El Salvador, and many others. The caravan, as it is being called, are all fleeing their countries for various reasons, due to economic instability, violence, government negligence, and in some cases, hunger. The group is aiming to reach the US-Mexico border by November 5th, the day which will see the new president-elect emerge. Some migrants feel this is their last chance to seek asylum in the US before immigration policies potentially change.
With an excess of foreign affairs intertwined with our very own politics here at home, these elections will prove especially significant, not just for us here in the States, but for the rest of the world. Now back to you, Jerry.
Ohtani's first season with the Dodgers drew big international appeal. The baseball phenom has captivated not only American fans, but a huge fan base of Japanese fans as well. Japanese fans made the trip to Dodger Stadium to catch Ohtani in action front and center in the World Series. His fame and celebrity status have grown since he joined the powerhouse Dodgers as a free agent and put up a 50-50 season, earning his first Major League playoff appearance. Dodgers fans lined up in Japan to be among the first to purchase Dodger gear of their beloved Japanese idol. Ohtani has gone from a household name to a mega global superstar in his first record-breaking season with the LA Dodgers. What a fantastic influence Ohtani has been to grow the game. Our BTVN reporter Lorenzo Gaitan has more in the wide world of sports.
Thanks, Jerry. It's been a dominant weekend for LA sports. As the Dodgers won the World Series earlier this week, the Lakers, Rams, and the Galaxy are all bringing wins back home. Here's everything that happened this week in the world of sports.
Let's start with the Rams as they took a win in overtime, beating the Seattle Seahawks 26-20. While the game was all over the place, it was highlighted by receiver Puka Nacua's ejection from the game for throwing a punch at Tyrell Dodson. Nakua, who just came off the injury reserve after 5 weeks, gives up the turnover and lets the Seahawks score. Matthew Stafford then finds DeMarcus Robertson for a touchdown to cut the deficit, and at the end of the third quarter, the game was tied. In the fourth quarter, in a tied game, rookie Carmen Kindred gets himself his first career NFL interception and runs it for a 106-yard pick six to take the lead. The Seahawks in the final minutes of the fourth tie the game from a Geno Smith touchdown pass to Jackson Smith and Jigba. Finally, in overtime, Stafford finds Robinson for a one-handed 39-yard completion to win the game. Now to the Lakers, who were in Toronto to play the Raptors on what would be Vince Carter's return to retire his iconic number 15 jersey. The Lakers dominated the Raptors in the first half, with Coach J.J. Redick saying, "Our team in that first half probably played our best half of basketball." The Lakers would wane in the second half, but ultimately came out victorious on the other side. LA put 76 points in the first half and cruised to a 131-125 win. Just before tip-off, Coach Redick adjusted the rotation to get the ball in guard D'Angelo Russell's hands more, resulting in LeBron and Austin Reeves playing together more, with Redick noting their chemistry running a two-man. The Lakers look to continue this form as they head into Detroit to play the Pistons. Moving from Toronto to Denver, the LA Galaxy soared to another victory, crushing the Colorado Rapids as they advanced to the Western Conference semifinal in the 2024 Audi MLS Cup playoffs. Rookie Gabriel Peck and Joseph Paintsel both scored in the first half, and none other than the Spanish international Ricky Puig scoring 2 more goals to up his tally to 4 goals in the series. The Galaxy outscored the Pids 15-4 in their 4 meetings this season. While LAFC unfortunately lost their matchup to the Vancouver Whitecaps and will end up having to play a Game 3 in the series back here in Los Angeles, the LA Galaxy will face Minnesota United after their November international break.
Congratulations again to the Dodgers for winning their 8th World Series title in franchise history. We hope to see all other LA sports teams win their rings in the months to come. Back to you at the news desk, Tanisha.
Well, here's a sign of the times. Imagine a new luxury gas station, but for electric vehicles. Well, no need to imagine, it's finally here. Beach TV News reporter Carlos Raya takes us in for a closer look.
Gas stations are great, but what if you have an electric car? One energy company by the name of Rove is taking EV charging stations to the next level. This new fully serviced EV service station is opening in Santa Ana, including a mini grocery store, car wash, and even a Wi-Fi lounge.
So as we were building Rove, we thought, how do we address as many of those challenges as possible with a single location? And it came with 40 chargers. We needed a seating area for people where they felt protected, where they felt comfortable. We needed restrooms where, if you were charging, you knew they were accessible to you. We really wanted a place where people could get a snack, where they could grab something and just, borrowing from Gelson's name, recharge and feel that they could just, power up and have a bit of ease while they did so.
Once we step foot inside Gelson's, as you can see, we have a wide variety of fresh produce, anything from dairy products to bread, fresh cut up fruit, sushi rolls, sushi that is, by the way, imported into their store every single day, made fresh and delivered. I spoke to Gelson's Market spokesperson Ryan Adams to see what he had to say about this first of a kind collaboration.
When you're at a charging station and it's going to take you 20 minutes or whatever to charge your car, the overlap of our customer bases with the EV vehicle crowd along with us, kind of was a really good fit for us.
Facility like this that allows not only Tesla but other vehicles to charge, I think it's really exciting. The facility that they have, the fact that they have a market, restrooms, Wi-Fi, and a lounge area is really cool.
Reporting live from Santa Ana, The Rove, I'm Carlos Raya, Beach TV News.
Time for another break, but up next. Who runs the world? According to Beyonce, Kamala does. The superstar takes center stage with Kamala Harris in Houston, Texas, hoping to promote girl power. And Lucy the Loggerhead waves goodbye as she is released back into the wild. The heartwarming images up ahead.
Victor deployed for the first time to Afghanistan in 2003. At 4 a.m, my phone rang. They said, "I regret to inform you that your husband was wounded in action." Victor sustained a moderate traumatic brain injury. I was doing school full-time, and I was also then caring for Victor. One of the most important elements of caregiving is taking care of yourself. I just didn't want to forget that I also had goals and that I also had a life. What I did is I challenged Victor to meet me halfway. He asked all his therapists to help him undertake some of the house chores. There are almost 6 million military and veteran caregivers across the nation. We have our own journey, and we can fulfill that journey at the same time that we are helping our loved one.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for a free military veterans guide to navigate.
Welcome back. A local youth jazz organization is empowering the next generation of jazz musicians through education and live performances. BTVN reporter Morgan Barella has the details.
The Jazz Angels is a nonprofit organization based in Long Beach that has a goal of keeping jazz alive and inspiring the next generation of jazz musicians. Through Jazz Angels, youth aged 11 through 17 are given the tools and resources to learn the art of jazz. Jazz Angels founder and instructor Barry Kogert says that the organization equips students with new skills, leadership capabilities, and allows them to give back to the community.
The mission of Jazz Angels is to create an environment where young people can express themselves musically in an environment that's nurturing and non-threatening. Through that process, they learn how to give back to the community through public performances, and we have a lot of fun along the whole way.
The Jazz Angels groups get to play in performances around Long Beach. On Sunday, October 20th, one band played at Roxanne's, a cocktail bar in the city. They played classics including John Coltrane's Mr. PC and Sonny Rollins' Sunny Moon for Two. Jazz Angels student Cooper says that for him, this organization provides an opportunity he hasn't been able to get through traditional education.
Jazz Angels is the only way I've really ever been able to play true jazz. I don't have access to a jazz band at my school, and so I think the idea of kids can come play together in a actual professionally run band is really ideal, in my opinion.
Jazz Angels sets out to promote the importance of youth music education. And Barry Koger expresses how rewarding it is when students break the ice with each other, all while improving their own musical skills.
And they don't know the music on the first rehearsal, to where by the time we're performing, just 10 weeks later, they're joking with each other, they know each other, they become friends, and they sound so great. So the music is, the improvement in the music is also extremely rewarding.
Reporting from Long Beach, Morgan Barella, Beach TV News.
Thanks, Morgan. Legendary Adele was spotted fangirling over Celine Dion. While performing her Las Vegas residency at the Coliseum at Caesar Palace, Adele stopped mid-show to embrace Celine Dion. Adele was performing one of her most popular songs, When We Were Young, when she spotted Dion among the crowd. In videos posted by fans, you can see how both singers tear up and share a heartwarming hug over a barrier. Dion then kissed Adele on the head, and Adele made her way back to the stage. The mutual support for one another will go down in history as Adele plans to take a break from music after her residency is completed. What a heartfelt moment. Well, other musicians are also making headlines. Our BTVN reporter Enrique Rodriguez explains.
Thank you, Tanisha. As we are getting into Election Day, a musician has visited a political rally about a week before Election Day. Meanwhile, other musicians have gotten sick and unfortunately were forced to put a stop to performances and disappoint their fans. Let's get into it. As we are getting closer and closer to the 2024 election, Kamala Harris has received more support from another celebrity. Famous singer and songwriter Beyonce has made an appearance in the Harris rally in Houston, telling everyone that she is not talking to everyone as a celebrity or a politician, but as a mother, who cares about her own children and all the children in the U.S. She is also there to say that women should have every right to control their bodies and that the world should not be divided but united. She calls for everyone to go out and vote, but vote for Kamala Harris. Sad news for the Barty Gang. Cardi B was scheduled to perform at the One Music Fest in Atlanta on October 26th, but she announced that she canceled her performance in the Atlanta Festival due to a medical emergency. 3 days before One Music Fest, she was taken to the hospital because of a health issue. She announced that disappointing news on Instagram, apologizing to her fans, saying that she wished she was there to perform for her fans. Cardi B is confident that she will be back at 100% and will perform for the Barty Gang once again. Cardi B is not the only songwriter dealing with a health issue. Justin Timberlake is also dealing with an illness. It is announced that he has bronchitis and laryngitis. Because of this, he has postponed scheduled concerts on his Forget Tomorrow World Tour. Some concerts in the US were supposed to go down between October 23rd to November 2nd. Timberlake announced that the concerts will now happen between February 14th to the 27th. Praying for a speedy recovery for both Cardi B and Justin Timberlake. I know both of their fans will support them and we'll be waiting. Hopefully they hit the stage again very soon. Now back to y'all at the news desk.
Thanks, Enrique. The Aquarium of the Pacific has released a rehabilitated loggerhead sea turtle back into the ocean.
That's right. Our reporter Lindsay Tolles has Lucy the Turtle's heartwarming story.
This is the moment an endangered sea turtle was released back into the ocean. The Aquarium of the Pacific in Long Beach released a loggerhead sea turtle into the ocean after nursing it back to health.
The loggerhead sea turtle that we released today was a stranded animal in Central California near Avila Beach in San Luis Obispo County. And some individuals realized that that turtle was in an area of the coastline where it shouldn't have been and was rescued and brought out of that. And at that point, they noticed that the turtle maybe seemed like it was a little weaker than normal and wanted to have an assessment done by a marine veterinarian as part of the Sea Turtle Stranding Network. Originally, when she came in, her body condition score was low, meaning that she didn't have as much fat stores as a really robust sea turtle would. We also noticed that she had a lot of epibionts, barnacles, algae growing on her shell.
Aquarium staff and volunteers held their breath as they watched the sending off of Lucy the loggerhead. Lucy traveled in a small boat with specialists who guided her back into the water off the coast of Long Beach.
And seeing it like felt unreal. Like it was so cool. I was feeling like really proud of the program and everything that like they do, and it definitely gave me like a better feel of what I want to do. Like I want to be able to help more animals like that someday.
It's nice to see things working out. There's a lot of negativity, so a little bit of positivity in the world is always a good thing.
Lucy's return is the first loggerhead sea turtle released by the aquarium since 2015. On board, aquarium officials announced the building of a sea turtle rehabilitation enclosure to expand its rescue and release program.
Sometime next year, we should have this new space opened up. We'll be able to continue to take in more sea turtles that need our help, and ultimately be re-releasing them back into their natural environments.
In Long Beach, Lindsay Tolles, Beach TV News.
Seems like there was a lot to celebrate.
Yeah, we're certainly wishing Lucy safe travels after her release.
And on that note, we end this edition of Beach TV News. I'm Tanisha Bucad.
And I'm Jerry Reynoso. Remember to stay connected and be a part of the conversation. Head over to our social apps at Beach TV News and let us know what you think of tonight's stories.
From all of us at Beach TV News, good night, Long Beach.